righty. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Sarah Heemstra, and I am our Student Life and Engagement Coordinator here at CCC. My role is to create opportunities for students to find connection, get involved, find a sense of belonging here at CCC. And we do that through lots of events, clubs, and organizations, and just creating spaces for students to gather and relax. This year, Student Life stayed busy with lots of exciting events happening. Almost every week we had something going on. But tonight, in my completely biased opinion, is one of the most special events of the year. We are so excited to celebrate our annual Student Awards ceremony, where we get to celebrate you all, our star students. This year marked the official rebranding of our event to the Cocos. So think of it kind of similar. It's an elevated ceremony reminiscent and very comparable to the Emmys, the Grammys, the Oscars, the Tonys. Who knows? Maybe somewhere in this room we will have our first official CGOT. Alrighty. So the reason we transformed our celebration to the Cocos is to make sure that you students feel like the stars you are. The impact that you make here at CCC is something that we want to celebrate, and we do celebrate in all we do, but tonight we just get to elevate it that extra step. Some quick housekeeping for all of our visitors. If you need to use the restroom, we have men's and women's restrooms off this way. Over here, we have a gender-neutral restroom or a family restroom, and main exits are both directions in case of emergency. So, before I pass the mic over to Dr. Heiser, I want to start off with some gratitude. First and foremost, I want to thank Coco, our beautiful mascot, for joining in their fancy new jacket. We will have lots of opportunities for everyone to get photos with Coco, so make sure you do so. I also want to thank our student development team who helped make tonight happen with the decorations, the ushering, the welcoming, and beyond. Working with a team like you all is truly something special, and I'm so grateful for the team that we have. I also want to thank our student ambassadors who make Student Life possible. We've got our lone ambassador working today, Hector, because we have two awesome ambassadors who will be awarded later. Thank you to our American Sign Language interpreters for the work that you do in making tonight accessible for all. Thank you to our caterers, Eddie, and the entire Tamales USA team. We have plenty of food, so please keep eating. Thank you so much to our facilities team, our IT staff, our marketing team, so many people that have put in so much work, time, and energy to make tonight look great, to make tonight sound great. Thank you, Avery. To make tonight just such an elevated experience like we've mentioned. I would also love to start turning the attention to a lot of the people sitting here. Thank you so much to all of our faculty and staff for the work that you do that makes CCC such an incredible place to be, one of the most promising workplaces, if you will. You all put in a lot of time and energy to be here and to recognize our students, and I'm just really, really grateful for your time. Thank you to the families and the friends and the guests who are here to celebrate. Yeah, big applause. We know that it takes a village to help students succeed, and we're just so grateful for the time and energy that you have poured in to help them be here physically today, but also the journey that they have been on to be here. Which leads me to my final and most important thank you, and that is to our shining stars, you all students. We would not be here if it weren't for you, and so please give a big round of applause to the students in the room. Thank you so much for all your hard work, for all the hours you have spent studying, for all of the hours you have spent writing your paper that you probably should have started a couple weeks ago. Thank you for all of the time and energy you have put into embodying what it means to be a comet and really defining what it means to be a comet. You all are truly incredible and the reason we're here and we're able to celebrate. So thank you. So before I welcome him to the stage, I want to give the disclaimer that I did not proofread Dr. Heiser's speech. So if there is anything that is cringeworthy, it is of his own volition. So with that, please join me in welcoming President and CEO of CCC, Dr. Eric Heiser.
Gotta have those disclaimers. Well, good evening and a welcome to the Cocos 2026. We're so happy to have you here. Coco, you're just styling as usual, setting the example. Yeah, love it, love it. All right, Maddie, here we go. Maddie told me that I had to write a speech that was good cringy, so we'll see if we can get that. So tonight, Lone Tree Commons is officially serving up the awards show energy. Not quite Hollywood, but let's be honest. The vibe is better, the people are better, and the talent in this room is absolutely real. Tonight's about celebrating our students, their hard work, their leadership, their resilience, their commitment, and the many ways that they make Coconino Community College stronger. And since we're leaning into the Cocos theme tonight, I feel like I'll say this right off the top to our honorees. You understood the assignment. You showed up, you put in the work, you stayed with it, and tonight you are very much in your moment. This is your night. You are the main characters this evening, and that's exactly how it should be. Now, recognition like this doesn't come by accident. Students don't end up here just because they got lucky. It comes from effort. It comes from discipline. It comes from perseverance, continuing to move forward, even when life gets busy, stressful, expensive, complicated, or all of the above. And one of the things that I love most about our students is that success doesn't just look one way. Some of the students that are here tonight came straight from high school. Some are balancing classes and work. I would argue most are balancing classes and work. Some are raising families while earning their education. Some came from back to school after years away. Some are the first in their family to attend college. And some made the decision that whatever the obstacles were in front of them, those obstacles were not going to have the final word. That is what we celebrate here this evening. Because it's more than about awards, it's about the story behind the award, the grit behind the success, the late nights, the hard choices, the moments of doubt, and the decision again and again and again to keep going. At CCC, excellence is not about perfection. A lot of times, it's just about showing up. It looks like asking for help. It looks like trying again. It looks like refusing to quit. That is real achievement. And to our honorees tonight, we all want you to know this. We see you. We see the effort behind the achievement. We see the sacrifice behind the success. We see the determination behind the progress you have made. And we are very, very proud of you. I also think one of the best things about CCC is the incredible mix of students that we have that make up our college community. We have students from different backgrounds, different generations, and different walks of life, all coming together around one shared goal: to build a better future, whatever that might look like. That is powerful. That is a community college. So whether you would describe tonight as amazing, awesome, or low-key iconic, we are all here for the same reason. We're here to celebrate excellence, we are here to celebrate persistence, and we are here to celebrate the students who have made and continue to make this college better by simply being a part of it. Lastly, I do want to make sure that we take time to recognize those who helped make this moment possible, because no one gets to a night like tonight on their own. Behind every student being honored tonight, there are people who encouraged them, challenged them, supported them, and most importantly, believed in them. Faculty, staff, family, friends, mentors, and probably at least one person who asked, "Did you turn it in yet?" at exactly the right time. And to our faculty and staff, thank you for creating the kind of college where students can grow, succeed, and thrive. As you've all heard me tell you before, what you do matters. Tonight is proof of that. So students, take it in. Tonight is your chance to enjoy the moment. Take the pictures, enjoy the applause, accept the compliments, and be proud of what you've done. This is not you being extra. This is about you being recognized for something real. And in a world that can feel heavy and chaotic, it is a good thing to stop and celebrate people who are doing meaningful things with their lives. People who are learning, growing, persisting, building, and becoming. That is why we are celebrating, and that is what is happening in this room here tonight. So yes, we do have our glamour. Yes, it's got the award show flair, complete with the neon sign. Yes, we are absolutely leaning into that theme, but at its core tonight is about honoring the very best of Coconino Community College. And that, of course, is our students. So to all of our honorees, you earned this. You deserved it. And yes, it's fair to say you kind of ate. I have no idea what that means, by the way. But I guess it's good. Thank you all for being here tonight. Welcome to the Cocos 2026. Let's get this show on the road.
Thank you, Dr. Heiser. And with that, we would love to begin our Arts and Sciences Awards. So we will be welcoming the first 3 people listed, the first 3 awards listed in your program. You're welcome to come up over here. And our first award of the evening will be, hold for dramatic effect. Our first award is the Outstanding Achievement in Art, presented by art faculty Jason Snelson.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason Snelson. I have been teaching here for 8 years now. Love it here. And Maya has taken, I'm not sure how many classes with me at this point. I don't think she even knows. And she decided to donate a piece for Palette to Palette for the silent auction. And so I thought after that, I should nominate her for this award. She's been in my beginning class, my Ceramics 2 class, and then the advanced class, I'm not sure how many times. And it's just been awesome watching her improve her skills and give presentations to the advanced class on different techniques, and just continues to get better with making larger work and really interesting forms and textures with carving and all sorts of different techniques. So super stoked that she wants to be here, and again, it's just great to see her continue to improve. So congratulations.
Moving on to our next award, the Exceptional Language Student Award will be presented through video by Arts, Humanities, and Language lead faculty Katie Schwartz. Please direct your attention to the video screen.
Hola, buenas noches. Bienvenidos a todos a esta ceremonia de premios. For the Spanish Language Student Award, I would love to award this to Donna Cancino. Donna has taken 5 CCC Spanish classes, and in all of these classes has demonstrated commitment to her learning. She has had excellent attendance in class, amazing participation, motivation, and dedication to submitting her assignments. She has demonstrated a passion for learning Spanish so that she can better connect to the young students and children that she works with and their families, many of whom don't speak English. She goes above and beyond connecting with her students' families to resources in the community and communicating important information to them in their native language of Spanish. For these reasons, Donna, I would like to recognize you as the Exceptional Language Student of the Year. Felicidades. Congratulations.
Moving on, we will welcome Dr. Hernando to the stage to present our next award.
I had a whole long thing written out, and then I got the email from Sarah that we were supposed to keep this to 3 minutes, which I am definitely going to do. One of the favorite pastimes of teachers is griping about their students. And if I'm being totally honest, I've engaged in a fair bit of that myself over the years. Students can be frustrating when they don't listen, when they forget to turn in assignments, etc. But lately I've had cause to reflect upon just how lucky I am to be teaching at this college in this town. No, the students we get here at CCC aren't perfect. They're not always meticulous note takers or the best prepared for tests, but you know what they are? They're curious, for one thing. Not many people grow up in a town like Flagstaff or move to a town like Flagstaff without being curious. For another thing, they're kind. Kindness is an underrated virtue in education. Kind people do better in classes, but they also help other people do better in classes. It's hard to sit or stand in front of a room full of strangers and say something or ask something that might make you look stupid if you're worried about how your classmates will judge you. And lastly, because they are so often curious and kind, they can give themselves the space to be humble. Humility is one of those secondary virtues that really comes in handy when it comes to things like considering viewpoints other than your own, or being open to new information and new evidence that you hadn't encountered before. All the sort of things that I try to teach in my classes. The young man I'm introducing here tonight, Jeffrey Garcia, is about as good a representative of those virtues as I've encountered in my time here at CCC. In addition to being an excellent student with a stellar academic record, Jeffrey is about as well-rounded a person as you're likely to encounter around here. He serves as an officer in PTK, plays multiple instruments, rock climbs, skateboards, weightlifts, and a half a dozen other hobbies that would land me in traction. Jeffrey works full-time as a bartender. I was completely unsurprised to learn that because he is about as good a listener as I've had in my classes here at CCC. On one point only have I found Jeffrey to be close-minded. True to his Mexican heritage, he will not touch a flour taco. It's got to be corn only for him. That prejudice notwithstanding, Jeffrey is the most exceptional student I've had the opportunity to teach this year. He tells me he plans to move to New York City next year, work in a residential care facility for the elderly, eventually enroll in NYU Law School, where I have no doubt he will excel in his studies and specialize in something that leaves him criminally underpaid but maximally fulfilled. Jeffrey, as you go forth into the world and do the great things we expect of you, I hope that you will take with you a few of the lessons you've learned in my classes. Remember never to take an order for pants from the White House. Remember never to send a top secret document encoded through Western Union. Remember not to show children any cartoon published by Dr. Seuss between 1941 and 45. But above all, I hope you continue to be curious. I hope that you remember to be kind. and that you can always find it in yourself to be humble, despite all the successes that will come your way.
Wonderful. Our next two students are unable to be here tonight, but we are still so excited to recognize them. We would like to celebrate our Creative Writing Student of the Year, presented by English and Yoga faculty Sandy Dealman.
Star of the day, who will it be? I always like to sing. I don't know. I just thought I'd start that way. Good evening, everybody. You all look so beautiful from up here. Writing is often a quiet, solitary act, but that process culminates in the most profound form of connection that we have. In an era where technology moves with relentless momentum, we sometimes forget that the most powerful operating system we possess is the human heart. In his work, Kyle Allen demonstrates an honest, relatable voice and an unpretentious tone that makes his personal journey feel less like an assignment and more like a lived moment in time. When writer Anne Lamott speaks of writing as a way to say, "I was here," she is describing the exact courage we see in Kyle's work. While an algorithm can track the years passing or the renovations on a house, it is disconnected from the quiet estrangement of standing in a childhood home that no longer smells the same. Kyle doesn't just tell us his grandmother's house has changed. He shows us through the subjective power of memory. By contrasting a backyard that once felt like an amusement park with the reality of a peeled white wall revealing gray concrete, he anchors his narratives in lived experience. He reminds us that while a camera can capture a high-resolution image of a crumbling wall, only a writer can capture the grief of watching it fall. We see this same human heartbeat in Kyle's memoir when he describes the gut feel uncertainty when called to the principal's office. We aren't simply reading a sequence of events, we're holding that universal, shaky breath right along with him. In a world of constant motion, Kyle uses his authentic voice to pause and insist, "I saw this. I felt this." This distinction is clearest in one of Kyle's most insightful reflections regarding the arrival of a massive 4K television in a room from his childhood. While technological improvement gave that room a better, sharper screen, Kyle's narrative reminds us that this progress can often be a distraction from the soul of a memory. He shows us that a 4K resolution is hollow if the room no longer resembles the place where he once felt safe. Excuse me. He chooses the obscurity of the human experience over the cold perfection of a digital display. Margaret Atwood once said, "A word after a word after a word is power." The power in Kyle's work comes from this steady, intentional build, grounding every sentence in the real-world observations that make us human. His words prove that even amid the progress of our modern world, the most essential thing we own is the spirit behind our narratives. Although Kyle couldn't be with us tonight, I'm honored to accept this award on his behalf. Please join me in a round of applause for CCC's Creative Writing Student of the Year, Kyle Allen.
Thank you so much. Continuing with the award for Composition Student of the Year, please welcome English faculty Jacob Miller to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jacob Miller. As was mentioned, unfortunately, Finn could not be here with us this evening, but I would like to share just a few stories about Finn. So there we were, day one. Finn was sitting front and center, ready to go, ready to learn, ready to participate. And not only was he prepared, but he demonstrated himself as being very perceptive. There was a day in class where we were to talk about narrative form, structure, and I was calling upon his peers expecting a response of something like falling action or resolution. And there is Finn, and he offers denouement. He read this small, short passage in our reading, the French word, he had it ready to go, just demonstrating that perceptiveness, let's say. He also demonstrated himself as being very diligent, always wanting to know how he could improve his rough drafts, revise them further, allocating time for revision, putting in the work that it took to get that final draft in place. Finn is also a very creative person. He has a strong sense of humor and an intellect to go along with it that allows Finn to see the world in really interesting ways and to engage with lines of argument to deconstruct them in very interesting ways. But more than all of this, Finn engaged the writing process not as if he were in a vacuum, not as if he were this individual alone writing, but he was always willing and eager to collaborate with his peers, to offer feedback to his peers, to receive feedback from his peers. So for these reasons, his preparedness, his perceptiveness, his diligence, creativity, and that collaboration that makes truly great writing, I'm happy to award Finn our Composition Student of the Year Award. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Wonderful. Our next award is the Literature Student of the Year, presented by Anna Hammerly.
Good evening. I was told to speak directly into this. It is such a pleasure to recognize Jessica as this year's recipient of the English Department's Literature Award. I've actually had the chance to work with Jessica in both English 102, College Composition 2, and in English 237, Women in Literature. And I'm impressed with how consistently she has engaged in the course material across both of these courses. She's one of the most hardworking students I've ever met, and that is not an exaggeration. She asks such thoughtful questions, and she really analyzes the course readings in a way that stands out above the rest. I enjoyed our conversations during office hours immensely. I looked forward to you showing up. And she would come and she would share her ideas, ask questions about the readings that showed that she not only read it, which is a big deal, it's a big deal, but she thought about the assignments really deeply, and that meant a lot. One of the most striking things about Jessica is how intentional she is about her growth. In a final piece of reflective writing for our literature class, she wrote about how intellectual habits are something that we choose to carry with us. And she does this, she really does this. She's curious and open and consistent. She reflects on her own thinking in a way that shows real maturity as a learner. She inspires me to keep reaching, to keep growing. She also brings a genuine enthusiasm to the class. You can tell that she wants to grow as a writer and thinker, and she's more than willing to put in the work to get there. Jessica, it's been such a joy to work with you across these classes. You've absolutely earned this. and more. And I know that you have a really bright future ahead of you. Congratulations.
Wonderful. Please join me in welcoming our next award, the Outstanding Accounting Award presented by accounting instructor Ed Connect.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ed Connect, and I've been here for 21 years. And it's always a pleasure to be able to select the outstanding student in our area in accounting. Accounting is not easy for most students, and a lot of students struggle. And the number one thing that I remember Ian doing in class, we would have group projects where we had to go up to the board and present the problem, the solution to it. And he often took a lead role in his group. He wasn't afraid, and he would help the ones that were struggling, which really helps when you're teaching a class of 20 or so students to have somebody that wants to help the others. That always impressed me about Ian. Also, he would stay after class even to help some of those students. So he cared about his fellow students, which is important in life. And I can't tell you how many times he would get his homework right, because most of the time you don't get the homework correct. But he was very consistent, very hard worker, and very respectful, which is pleasant to see in the classroom, because some students aren't always so respectful. And I want to congratulate you, Ian, for being awarded the Outstanding Accounting Student at Coconino Community College this year.
Our next three awards are the Science Student of the Year Awards. The first award is presented by biology faculty Melinda McKinney.
Good evening. All right. As we pulled into the parking lot at Colorado State University, Najoni was the first one out of the car. She turned back to the other students and said, "Come on, guys, let's present this poster. Let's go." And that is how Najoni is. That is her. She's a sophomore from Black Mesa. She has completed 65 credits, 3.7 GPA across genuinely rigorous coursework, Calculus 1, 2, and 3, astronomy, multiple biology courses. She plans to become a psychiatrist and return to Black Mesa to address mental health issues in her community. This goal is not something she mentions occasionally. It's something that shapes the decisions that she makes. She's part of the Bridges to Baccalaureate program. It's a prestigious program from the National Institute of Health, and it's designed to strengthen the pipeline of underrepresented students from community college into biomedical science. And I want to be clear about what she and her two fellow researchers did. They didn't just join an existing research program, they created their research project. So they went to NAU, met with professors in exercise science and health and wellness, and developed an original project focused on gathering data from the cross-country team, which she's a runner in, from their wearable data, from grip strength, physiological measures, and from like high jumps. And we were so excited about it, the technology, it's their own team, and Najoni was interested in psychiatry, so she was interested in getting a psychologist to come. And so she came, Dr. Heidi Wayment, and told us about how to make a psychological inventory of the the runners. And then she said, but wait, your team is too small. She was the director of the previous IRB, the Institutional Review Board, and she said, you are not going to get approved for this. You can't de-identify those students. So we had to completely change gears. I was disappointed, Najosine was disappointed, but she bounced back. They got data from a publicly available database, created a great hypothesis to test. They looked at high elevation versus low elevation schools from NAU and from schools below 10 feet sea level, and they found a significant result. So we went up to CSU, we went up to Colorado State University last weekend, and they presented, I stood there and watched. They were the only community college students. It was PhD students and some master's students, and the judges were not, they didn't go easy on them. They were kind, but they asked hard questions, and they questioned the methodology about including NAU, this super fast school, and this high elevation team. So we came back, redid the analysis, redid the poster, and she's presenting the new results at NAU's Undergraduate Research Symposium next Friday. And they found significant results. Cross-country runners run faster at high elevation in Division II schools, where for a lot of reasons, that was the signal strength. So if you're interested, go to NAU next Friday and find out more. The last thing I want to say about her, and I know it's a lot, is that she's going to be continuing her research at NAU this summer, working with, let me get this right. So Dr. Eric Serino, she'll be contributing to work on Alzheimer's disease and supporting dementia caregivers through the So Foundation, a Navajo-led nonprofit providing resources and training to Diné caregivers caring for elders with Alzheimer's disease and dementia. I'm so proud of her. On our trip to Rocky Mountain National Park, she was in the car in the back seat going, guys, this is great. Don't you think this is great? Don't you think this is great? And I was like, yeah, I think it's great. Her enthusiasm was real. She wanted us to be happy, and I was so happy. I don't like writing grants, but I was like inspired to write another grant so that I can continue to work with students like her. But she doesn't come along very often. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Najoni. I wanted to end with this last quote. It's from Jane Goodall. You cannot get through a day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do, it makes a difference. And you have to decide the difference you want to make. Najoni, you have made such a difference in my life, and I'm so grateful. Congratulations on the Outstanding Science Student of the Year.
Wonderful. Our next Science Student of the Year will be presented through video by biology faculty member Tom Lehman.
Hi there, I am Tom Lehman, part-time anatomy and physiology instructor at CCC. It is my pleasure to nominate Emily Cordero as a 2026 Outstanding Science Student. Emily has excelled in my online human anatomy and physiology course this spring by being prepared for each Zoom student hour, engaging her classmates in weekly discussions, and demonstrating diligence and mastery of content in her weekly lab presentations. Emily's goal is to pursue nursing, building upon her current experience as a mental health technician. She's passionate about helping individuals heal while also empowering them with the knowledge to maintain their health proactively. She's applied her clinical experience into her online discussions and presentations, and I have no doubt will apply what she learns in these courses into her career. Emily is a true CCC comet in being an example of what hard work, focus, and dedication can achieve. Congratulations, Emily Cordero.
Since Tom is not here, it is my pleasure to hand over the prize of the Science Student of the Year to Emily. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. And our final Science Student of the Year is Derek French.
Good evening, everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Girija Das Mahapatra. People call me Giri, and my students call me Dr. D. I'm a chemistry faculty here for last 11 years. So when I decided to come and present this award, I thought I will be impressed by my student. But before that, I am more impressed by the speaks of or the lectures of the presenters before me. It is outstanding. I didn't write anything to be said in 2 minutes. I thought, I usually carry a chemistry class of 3 hours. I will survive 2 minutes. So I now know if I have to present this award next year, whom to ask for help. Okay, just to start, I'm here to present the third and the last Science Student of the Year. We have 3 Science Student of the Year from the department, and the awardee is Derek French. So, just to say a few things about Derek, I am unfortunate that I teach a class where nobody likes. People want to get out from the class, from the back of my class as soon as possible. Derek survived. That's a great achievement. So Derek took 2 of my general chemistry class in the last couple of semesters. Since he has been accepted as a Science Student of the Year, needless to say, he has done great. Good grades, good attendance, great behavior, that is given. But actually, when I nominated him, it was for something else. I strongly believe, whether you agree with me or disagree, a teacher is as good as the students are. Derek helped me to become a great teacher, if I am. There are a lot of good students, intelligent, smart, engaging student. But Derek is a student who can bring a positive vibe to the class. He is a handsome man, no doubt about it, but also he is a great team player. In one of the class I taught with only 10 students, he was there in all classes. And ultimately, he has created a great learning environment. And I strongly believe, a rising tide lifts all boats, including your teachers. Thank you very much for making me a great teacher.
Moving along, we have the Outstanding Psychology Student of the Year presented by Psychology faculty Michelle Metcalf.
I'm going to lower this. Okay, well, I guess it comes off. Okay, well, here. I'm honored to present Faith Chi with the Outstanding Psychology Student of the Year Award. Faith successfully balances full-time work, with school and other responsibilities, often attending classes during her lunch break. That is impressive. In class, she's always tuned in, asking and answering questions during group discussions, and works well with her peers. She is a leader. Faith Chi has a friendly demeanor and a strong work ethic that make her a pleasure to have in class. Psychology teacher Ashley Averett shared that Faith stays positive and works through challenges as they arise, and that Faith acknowledged the importance of statistics in her future career as a psychologist. That is also very impressive for an intro to statistics student. Faith is pursuing a psychology degree to make an impact on the lives of others. We know Faith will help strengthen other people, their families, and our communities. We are excited to recognize Faith for her hard work, determination, intellect, compassion, and commitment. It's be very exciting to see how her future unfolds as she's graduating from CCC next month, and will transfer over to NAU and pursue the psychology degree there. Congratulations.
Our next award is for Outstanding Applied Indigenous Studies Student of the Year, presented by AIS faculty and former president of the Navajo Nation, Jonathan Nez.
Good evening, everybody. Yat eh. I guess as a AIS instructor, I should introduce myself in Navajo, right? Ashin shlido tkatnesani ibashichin aro twedichini dashichiro tkachini dashanala. So yat en hidini do lelano tskokwasla so legi. Now I just introduced myself, my clans, and greetings to each and every one of you. That beautiful language that you heard helped win battles in war, helped win World War II, and I honor the Navajo Code Talkers Day by speaking that. Let's give them a round of applause. And our veterans here today, thank you so much. And little did I know that Nijoni is my little sister. So this is not, there's no nepotism here, okay? No award going to my little sister. But by clan, she's Ma'idesh Gijni. And Ashin, same clan. So she is my little sister. And I congratulate her today for a job well done. She's racking up all the awards today, huh? Oh, man. But we are proud of her. You know, I just wanted to also say, too, I appreciate the students here. You know, my wife here, Cecilia, if you want to quickly stand, is on the foundation board here at Coconino Community College. So usually she would be the +1 when we would go around when I was the president. And after I left office, I became the +1 at a lot of events. And my wife would go to these events here in Coconino Community College, and the students here challenged me, you know, and I appreciate that challenge. They said, President Nez, what are you doing now? And I said, I'm back to herding sheep. I said, herding sheep? You need to be in the classroom to teach. And I said, okay, well, I'll take on that challenge. And thank you, President Heiser, for the opportunity to be here at Coconino Community College to recognize some great students. They're all winners today, right? There are some students that are doing great in our classrooms, right, instructors? Not everybody could be recognized today, but our future is great. But today, I want to say thank you to Najona Johnson. Very quiet student. You know, somebody was saying she was pretty outspoken, but in my classroom, she sits there all quiet. And I was like, she was just, I think, taking it all in, right? All that information in. And, you know, she didn't say much in the classroom, but I read her papers. And as some of you know, Kelly, right, I assign a lot of critical thinking papers in my class. And I told them, you'll hate me now, but you'll thank me later when you're in graduate school. But Najoni had some very powerful stories that she shared with her writing. You know, her upbringing in Black Mesa, the resilience there of the strong Navajo women there, pushing back against the federal government, as well as pushing back on a lot of development. If you're familiar with that Black Mesa area, Peabody Coal Mine, multinational corporations coming in. And with the family that she comes from, very strong in government and politics. And you could see that in her writing. And you can see, too, that she is a runner. And we would be cheering on the cross-country team. And thanks to Coach. Coach is here somewhere, and he's going to be coming up soon. But, well, when people say student athlete, I think I always picture Najoni as a student athlete, right? Student coming first, athlete coming second. And she has excelled in the classroom. And I'm very proud of her. And I know the community of Black Mesa is proud of her, her family here today as well, celebrating this milestone. So please join me in congratulating Najoni Johnson for the Outstanding Applied Indigenous Studies Student of the Year Award, everybody. And as I said, our future is bright. Congratulations to all the award recipients. Akone, ahie.
Thank you, Mr. Nez. Our final Arts and Sciences Award of the evening is the Anthropology Student of the Year, presented by anthropology faculty Lisa Doskasil.
All right, isn't this an amazing evening? We have so many fabulous students, and I just want to start by saying this was the hardest thing to decide on who I could give the one award to in anthropology. There are so many of you here that I want to recognize for your hard work, your dedication to the field of anthropology. I'm just so honored to be able to work with so many of you. And I'm going to miss you terribly, but we'll worry about that later. But I did want to recognize tonight the significant work that Nikki has done in our anthropology classes. I've known her for a few years now, and she's had just about every class that I can think of that I teach, everything from the anthropology of religion to people of the Southwest. We've been getting to know each other really well over the years, and I'm just so excited to award this to you. So just really quick, I just want you to understand, with regard to anthropology, a lot of people don't understand what that is or have a negative connotation of what an anthropologist does. And so for me, myself, my students, I always try to encourage an understanding that the role of anthropology is to give a voice to those that, whether through history or colonization or governments or just general human bias, to give a voice to those who've been denied one. Because every voice matters. And the purpose of anthropology, as Ruth Benedict once said, is to make the world safe for human differences. And it's something that I am very passionate about, and I know my students are, and Nikki is so passionate about that goal as well. Because this is probably one of the most important jobs I feel we can have as humans, is to just take care of each other and to recognize that we all belong. And so I say all this because tonight I want to recognize Yiki? Where did that come from? Nikki Yanez and her work in anthropology. I've known Nikki through all sorts of different events in life and in the college, and she is a student who also sits quietly in class, but is always thinking deeply and critically about the material. And she's feeling very passionately about what we talk about. She's incredibly thoughtful, and she really does put a lot of her heart and soul into her work. And even though she's quiet, one of the most special traits, and I love so much about you, but one of the most special traits about you is just that you are a fierce and fearless protector of human rights and diversity. And we need more people like that in the world. That's all I gotta say right there. When Nikki speaks, she teaches all of us, not just other students, but myself as well. I've learned so much continuously from you over the years, and you really do help us all grow. She is an advocate for diversity and compassion. She's a reminder of our roles as humans to each other, and that we're here for one another. Knowing Nikki gives me so much faith in the future, not just because I learned so much from her, but I am amazed at the creativity that she embodies as well. And it goes much beyond just the beautiful shades of hair color that I get to see, although this one's my favorite, I have to say. But she cares about the well-being of everyone in the classroom and outside of it. And she has blown my mind this semester in creating one of the most creative projects I've ever seen. She took an old life game, with the little family members, and you play the little game. She took this old game, and instead, she created an entirely new game, all about the protection and the need to preserve indigenous languages. And my heart soars thinking about it. So creative, so inventive, and just incredibly powerful. So she blew my mind with that, and she never has ceased to impress me. I know that human dignity and diversity and culture have a real defender in Nikki, and I am so excited and thrilled to see where she goes from here. Congratulations, Nikki, and blessed be.
Please join me in another round of applause for all of our Arts and Sciences Award winners. Moving on to our Career and Technical Education Awards, we are excited to celebrate the dedication, skill, and hard work of our outstanding CTE students and the faculty and staff who support them. Our first CTE award of the evening is the Nursing Student of the Year, presented by Director of Nursing and Allied Health, Catherine Costa.
Good evening, everyone. It is my honor and my pleasure to present this year's Student of the Year Award in Nursing, Megan Parker. Megan, your nursing faculty think the world of you. I want to share some of the things they've said about you, and I have to read it because they have so eloquently spoken of you. So, when I first met Megan, she was quiet and unsure of her own abilities. But the transformation we have witnessed over the past year has been nothing short of extraordinary. She has blossomed into a confident, engaged student who asks insightful questions, contributes meaningfully to discussion, and approaches clinical practice with a strong knowledge base and a thoughtful, curious mind. Here's another one. From the very beginning of her time in the nursing program, Megan has shown a remarkable ability to step up for her classmates, not only as a compassionate friend, but as a natural leader long before she ever had a formal leadership role. She has been the person who organizes, who supports, who quietly ensures things get done, both inside and outside the classroom. She is a selfless example. She welcomed new nursing students with fun prizes during orientation by going out to various businesses to get goodies. And even when put on the spot, whether in lecture or in clinical, Megan consistently rose to the occasion and excelled. Megan's peers know her as someone they can rely on. As student representative, she sought out their voices, their opinions, and their ideas for improving the program. She didn't just listen, she acted. She even went above and beyond by creating personalized awards for every classmate, a gesture that speaks to her kindness, her thoughtfulness, and her commitment to uplifting others. Academically and clinically, Megan has worked incredibly hard, maintaining excellent grades and continuing to strive and grow. Her development as a class representative has been equally impressive. Megan communicates effectively, stays organized, and navigates differing opinions with grace. She has shown strong delegation and leadership skills, even taking the lead in planning her cohort's pinning ceremony. Her positivity and enthusiasm make her not only a wonderful student, but a positive influence on everyone around her. Megan was nominated for her academic and clinical excellence, her compassion, her dedication, her resilience, and her unwavering commitment to be the best nurse she can be. And tonight, we recognize her for exactly those qualities. Megan, you've earned this award through your hard work and your heart and profound dedication to others. We are incredibly proud of you, and we cannot wait to see the extraordinary nurse that you are about to become. Congratulations.
Up next is the Outstanding EMS Student Award. Although Josh and Justin couldn't be here tonight, I am honored to share what Josh Pond, Paramedic Academy Program Director, has to say about Justin Smiley. Today, I'd like to recognize Justin Smiley as our nominee for Outstanding EMS Student of the Year. Justin consistently brings a positive attitude to every aspect of the program. He shows up ready to learn, ready to contribute, and ready to support those around him. That kind of mindset elevates not only his own performance, but the entire class. What really stands out about Justin is his willingness to engage, especially during lab time. He leans into hands-on learning, asks thoughtful questions, and takes full advantage of every opportunity to improve his skills. He doesn't just go through the motions, he's intentional about getting better. Justin also brings a sharp, witty sense of humor that helps keeps things grounded and human, even during some of the more stressful moments of training. That balance of professionalism and personality is something you can't teach, and it makes him someone who people naturally want to work with. Most importantly, Justin has demonstrated a clear commitment to becoming an outstanding paramedic. He holds himself to a high standard and consistently puts in the work to meet it. Justin, we are proud of the effort, professionalism, and dedication you've shown. You represent exactly what we hope to see in the future of EMS. Congratulations to Justin Smiley. As I leave the stage, we will be moving on to the Outstanding Student in Computer Technology presented by CIS faculty Dwayne Marshall.
Evening. So I'm Dwayne Marshall. I'm one of the CIS faculty here. I also teach geography. I kind of swing a number of different ways there as far as what I teach. But I'm here to present for Benjamin Browning. Don't take that as it was, but here to present for Benjamin Browning. And one of the things I could say about teaching in CIS versus teaching in geography is some things change and some things stay the same. And I have historically referred to myself as the shroom in the room because of my CIS background and my enjoyment of computers and stuff like that. So sometimes I actually have to stand up in front of a bunch of students that are all shrooms in the room, that enjoy being at their computer and just doing their computer stuff. But Ben is not one of those people. Ben is actually one of those people that help open up the room to communication and open up the room to dialogue and stuff. And I can always depend on Ben to actually start that up. And even if it comes off topic, it's great. It gets everybody else talking. And sometimes we have team projects that we work on, and a lot of times the team projects are, everybody doing this. But with Ben in the room, those team projects have gotten a lot smoother, and he communicates with his team partners and makes things happen. He's a really hard worker. He always uses some of his personal interests as well in some of his topics that he's trying to investigate. And I think that's really enhances his educational path and his learning progress. So I have to commend him on that as well. He also shows a lot of maturity and character in his communication with his students and with me, far beyond kind of his years. I think he spent a little bit of time away from school and to come back to school, so he understands kind of like what he's going for. Like a lot of people here, he works a lot. He works as well as going to school full time, and I know how hard that can be. So he has a very good hard work ethic. So the last thing I would want to say to Ben, because I know he's going to be successful down the road because he drives himself and he drives everything he does in the class, is a Zen proverb. I've mentioned it before, but it says, before enlightenment, chop wood, haul water. After enlightenment, chop wood, haul water. And I'm sure he will stand up to this going forward into everything he does. So here's to Ben.
Wonderful. Our next awards are the Fire Science Student of the Year Awards presented by Fire Science Program Coordinator Joel Barnett.
Good evening. As Sarah said, my name is Joel Barnett, and I'm the Fire Science Program Coordinator here at Coconino Community College. Firefighting is not just a career. Many who go into the field describe it as a calling. It calls to people who are willing to place the needs of others before their own. Those that are looking for and prepared for a physical, intellectual, and emotional challenge. Tonight, I have the privilege of honoring 2 students who have answered that calling. Our first awardee is Zachary Bustamante. Zach began taking classes at CCC through the Caveat program while he was still in high school. He was the first Caveat student to complete the fire science track, earning both a certificate in emergency medical technology and a fire science intermediate certificate while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. Zach graduated from high school less than a year ago. 3 weeks ago, he started the Greater Flagstaff Regional Fire Academy. When he graduates from the academy in June, he will start work as an aircraft rescue firefighter for the city of Flagstaff. Unfortunately, I retired 8 months too early to work with him. Zach's dedication to his studies and commitment to follow his calling are the reasons that fire science faculty and I have named him as a Fire Science Student of the Year. Zachary, congratulations. Our second awardee tonight is Raleigh Jones. In 2024, Raleigh was working in the corporate world as a regional manager for a retail store when he realized he wanted to change careers and do something where he could give back to his community. He began taking fire science classes at CCC while continuing to work full-time and raising a family. Today, Raleigh is only 2 classes shy of earning the Fire Science Advanced Certificate. He has maintained a 4.0 GPA throughout his studies. Returning to school can be frightening. It requires making sacrifices. Raleigh has shown us it's possible to accomplish your goals if you're willing to put in the work, and that's why we have named him a Fire Science Student of the Year. Raleigh was not able to join us tonight. I'll make sure he receives his award. Thank you.
Thanks, Joel. Next up is the Construction Technology Student of the Year Award presented by CTM instructor Vance Peterson.
Good evening. If you know me, you know I talk a lot, but I don't generally talk in front of a lot of people, so if I massacre this, forgive me. But I first met Asias, he was actually a very quiet high school student. We all have students where we just don't worry about them. They just show up, they do the thing, but we're not worried about that at all. And that honestly was not at first Asias. He was so quiet and mild-mannered, and as a high school student, I was concerned. We work in construction. Construction is not soft. But we moved on from there, we got over that, and I'm happy to say that he has morphed into a young man that I think his parents over here can be proud of. Any of us can be proud of. He's not just that student that we don't need to worry about. He's that student that makes our class better. So I had heard that you weren't quite sure why you're here, so I think I can tell you about that. Asias is that class that makes you better, makes your class better. You didn't just show up. You showed up every single day. You didn't just do the work. You understood, in the words of Dr. Heiser, you understood the assignment. You showed up every day with a constant, good, low-key attitude. It was just a really good feeling in the room when Asias is in the room. Really a pleasure to work with. Every group that he was in was having a laughing, joking, good time, getting a lot of work done. You led in a quiet, confident manner. And I can't tell you how much it means in construction to lead by example. You know, it's always the hardest work on a person on the side is the person you want to emulate, and you were that person. You led by quiet example. You also led because you were the first to work. When it was time to get to work, Asias was there. When it was time to get tools out, he was the first one getting the tools out. When it was time to put the tools to the wood, Asias was the first one putting the tools to the wood with confidence. You were the first to volunteer. If I needed something, if I needed somebody to get up on the board, if I needed somebody to tell a story about or something like that, Asias was just there. He was always the first person to volunteer. You were the first person to help. Again, if I needed something, you were there. If a fellow student needed something, Asias was there. Always there. when he was needed. You corrected me when my math was wrong. Fantastic. Thank you for that very much. But most importantly, you were you. I don't know where you're going to end up, Asias, but I know that you're going to make it better, and you deserve this. So thanks for being our outstanding Student of the Year.
Our final CTE award of the evening is the Automotive Student of the Year. Since award winner Walter Peters could not be here tonight, automotive instructor Thaddeus Cates will be awarding Walter in class next week. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our Career and Technical Education Award winners. Which brings us to our final category of the evening, our Program Awards. These programs span across our student services departments and acknowledge a wide range of participation for these students. We are excited to celebrate the contributions and excellence in their respective programs. Our first program award of the evening is the CCC Caveat Student of the Year, presented by High School to CCC Advisor Terry Beeson.
Good evening, everybody. It's a blessing to be here. I would like to take this time to recognize our outstanding Coconino Community College Caveat Student of the Year, McKenna McGill. So let's give her a round of applause. It's a blessing to be able to be in both worlds in terms of helping our high school students aspire to great things while they're still in high school, and it's a blessing to pave the way for a new, successful path on their way to college. So we're truly blessed to be in the high schools helping young people get started and onto their journey. So McKenna has a lot of support, a lot of people that believe in her, and so I want to take the time to read what comments were written by the different folks, the different teachers at Flagstaff High School. McKenna McGill's high school GPA is a 3.8. She currently works as a CNA at Arizona State Veterans Home and as a PCT at Northern Arizona Rehabilitation Center. She received her CNA certification spring of 2025 at the end of her junior year, and in the fall of her senior year, she completed her EMT certification, both through the Caveat program. In the fall of this year, McKenna will be attending ASU nursing school to pursue her nursing degree and eventually become a flight nurse. After nominating McKenna for Caveat Student of the Year, I reached out to her school counselor and teachers over the past 2 years. Here is what they shared with me about McKenna. She is such a hard worker. She's a hoot to be around and is always so positive. She's extremely dedicated and striving to be the best she can. And I know that this is one of the many reasons she is being honored. She's selfless and compassionate, and I couldn't be more proud to hear this. She is so deserving, and that's from Mr. Pabst. I have enjoyed having McKenna in class for a bunch of reasons. Namely, she jumps into every task with a positive attitude, and she asks the best questions. She has been an absolute pleasure to have in class this year. I look forward to hearing about the day she becomes a charge nurse at some massive hospital, or she's back at ASU teaching nursing classes. I predict big things for her, and that's from Mr. Anderson. McKenna is a hardworking student who can accomplish anything that she puts her mind to. There is no doubt in my mind that she will go on to accomplish great things, and that's from Mr. Schomer. There are a lot of different reasons I might remember a student years after they leave my class, for better or worse, but every year there's a small group of students that I know I'm going to remember forever. just because of how obscenely smart, kind, and hardworking they are. I know you were in that group of students before the year was even over, but after finding out about your CNA work, I am floored. Very few people show the ambition, drive, and spirit that you have, and I'm utterly impressed by you, Mr. Miller. The thing that I remember most about McKenna was always quick to help students who were struggling in class. She would include them and make sure they had a role to play in group projects. She was also a very good student, even in an area that wasn't her primary focus, Mr. Lockhart. McKenna is an exceptional student who constantly goes above and beyond in everything she does. In anatomy and physiology, she demonstrated a deep commitment to learning by asking thoughtful, insightful questions and striving to truly understand the material. She is hardworking, driven, and sets a high standard for herself and those around her. It has been a privilege to see her grow and succeed. I know she will make the most amazing and caring nurse, Mrs. Gandy. And lastly, from her counselor, Deborah Martin, over the past 2 years, I've had the privilege of watching McKenna grow through her unwavering determination and genuine love of learning, completing not one, but 2 caveat programs, CNA and EMT, and passing both certification exams is an incredible feat before graduating from high school. McKenna constantly rises to challenges with a positive attitude, never shying away from difficult tasks, but instead embracing them as opportunities to improve. Her willingness to learn, reflect, and grow sets her apart. It has truly been inspiring to witness her dedication, and I am confident that this drive and commitment to growth will lead her to great success in her future endeavors. I cannot, and we cannot, wait to see what you do in your future, McKenna. And we give her a round of applause for our Caveat Student of the Year, McKenna McGill. Thank you for that. And I have another award for the CCC Dual Student of the Year, Mia Edwards, and she couldn't be with us tonight, but we will definitely get her award to her. So this comes from Maya Edwards, CCHS Coconino High School Counselor, Ms. Markham. Mia Edwards is a remarkable young woman who has gone above and beyond the expectations of most students her age. Mia will be receiving her AA General Studies degree from Coconino Community College at the same time as meeting her high school graduation requirements at Coconino High School. Mia plans to attend Northern Arizona University, where she will continue building the life she once could only imagine. Mia plans to become an orthodontist in the hopes of providing herself and a future family with stability and security. Mia is graduating from Coconino High School with a 4.0 weighted GPA and with a variety of arduous classes such as honors, advanced placement, and dual enrollment. Throughout this impressive educational journey, she has had little to no parental guidance or support. She is a very inspiring human whose goals make the world a brighter place to be. So congratulations to Mia Edwards for being nominated, or being awarded, the CCC Dual Enrollment Student of the Year. Thank you.
Moving on to our CCC to NAU Student of the Year, presented by CCC to NAU Advisor, Coda McCabe.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Coda McCabe. I'm a CCC to NAU advisor. And for those of you that don't know what the CCC NAU program is, It's a transfer program at Coco Community College that helps students smoothly transfer to Northern Arizona University for their bachelor's degree. So I'm excited to announce our CCC to NAU Student of the Year. Please welcome Veronica Para Andrade. So when selecting our candidates, we look for certain qualities, and Veronica has exceeded all expectations of those qualities. Veronica has maintained a high GPA. She regularly visits her advisors. She is graduating in May, and she's transferring to NAU for business management. She brings such a positive attitude and her funny personality to campus. She regularly engages with a variety of campus resources, including tutoring, the help desk, the Native American Success Center lending program, and the CCC to NAU advising, especially the advising. She's always in my office often. I told your family I was going to tell all the embarrassing stories about you, but I may not have time. She shows resilience and adaptability for overcoming challenges like limited resources while staying on track toward her transfer goals. Veronica actually works part-time for her family business, which is called Burrito Express. They would bring their truck to campus on certain Fridays, and they would serve their delicious food to all the CCC employees. And on top of all that, she balances her coursework and gains hands-on experience in her family business, demonstrating strong time management, responsibility, and real-life application of business skills. I have been advising 2 years now, and Veronica is one of my first students. She's a really special student to me because we started working together since day one, and I watched her succeed, and now I'm getting to see her graduate. Please join me in congratulating our CCC to NAU Student of the Year, Veronica.
Up next is our Strengthening Indigenous Student Success Student of the Year, presented by Native American Success Center Program Director, Brian Francis.
I first met Wilbert Begay about 2 years ago. His sister, Janet, who had taken part in our summer bridge program, brought him to my office. He said, "This is Wilbert. This is my brother. Please help him." I looked at Wilbert, like, all right, what do we have here? You see, Wilbert came in and he only wanted to take one class at CCC. I think it was a welding class. He signed up for 2 classes, and I didn't see him for a long time. And last summer, he came back into my office with his sister again, but this time he spoke to me. He said, "You know what? I want to do the summer bridge program." So we got him in, and he did a great job during the summer bridge program. And as I got to know Wilbert during our summer, I learned that he was in a supervisory role at a local yogurt plant. He talked about how he trains people, how he works with people, and what he enjoys. And the career advisor mind was starting to think, oh my God, business management, managing people, conflict resolution, all these different things that he had been practicing for some time now. And so the more I started to listen to what he was saying, I thought about all the opportunities maybe nobody has talked to him about. So we started talking about business classes and business. And he really got into that. He said, okay, I'll give it a shot. Today, he's pursuing a business degree here at CCC. He's part of this TRIO Student Support Services program. He's part of the CCC to NAU program. He's also an active member of the Indigenous Student Association of CCC. And one of his bigger accomplishments, He can now come into my office on his own without his sister. In the span of 2 years, I have seen this young man who only wanted to take one class, develop some goals, and strive for something more of what he wants to accomplish here at CCC, what he wants to accomplish at NAU. And just recently, we've been talking about graduate schools. And it's really cool to see that when a student comes in and thinks beyond all the different obstacles and anything else that's coming up, and he sees the longer path. And it's for that reason my staff and I have chosen him as the Native American Success Center Student of the Year. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Wilbert Begay.
We will now recognize our Student Athlete of the Year awards presented by cross country head coach and athletic director Craig Hunt.
All right, welcome back to the stage, Najone. Your third award tonight. So Najone here is the definition of a student athlete. She wasn't necessarily our top runner this season. She had teammates that earned All-American honors, but she excelled in the classroom and on the cross-country course. Coming into our program 2 years ago, she graduated high school with a 5K personal best of 25:54, which is about 8 minutes and 20 seconds per mile. Definitely fast, right? But when she came on campus, she improved significantly. She's gonna graduate this spring with a 5K PR of 21:33, which is 6 minutes and 56 seconds per mile. So over over a minute faster than what you ran in high school per mile. Pretty amazing. Najone here has earned 2 All-Conference Honorable Mention Awards. She's CCC's first academic All-American, and she's done amazing things outside of athletics. You've already heard about her Indigenous studies, her B2B science fair project she's done. She's gotten to travel across the country, Virginia, California, Iowa, Colorado, all because of the extracurriculars you've done outside of the classroom. You're truly the definition of a student athlete. I wish I could have a million of you on our team. So with that, congratulations on earning our Female Student Athlete of the Year. You're welcome. Next, I have our Male Student Athlete of the Year award. Unfortunately, Theodore Roundface wasn't able to be here tonight. He was planning on being here, RSVP'd yes, but at the last minute got an opportunity to go race a 5K in California. So he is getting on the starting line in about 30 minutes to race a 5K out in California. But Theo is one of the fastest runners to come through our program. He ran an 8K personal best of 25:52, which averages out to 5:12 per mile. He's earned all-conference second team. He earned all-region recognition. And that was his freshman year. His sophomore year, he actually wasn't running all that great. He was having kind of a slump season, but he managed to squeak out an honorable mention at the conference championship. And what really made his entire season was he just put all his eggs into one basket. He focused so hard on the national championship, and that's where he really blossomed. He ended up finishing 17th at our national championships, earning himself All-American. He was our #1 runner for CCC, and all season he kind of was in our number 2, number 3 spot, but really pushed through. Was our number 1 runner that day and helped his team to a 14th place team finish. So I wish Theo could be here with us tonight, but he's doing what he loves and racing a 5K on the track. So hopefully he does well, and congratulations to him.
Time to celebrate the Trio Student of the Year, presented by Trio Peer Mentor Elise Hughes.
Hi everyone, my name is Elise Hughes and I'm a peer mentor for the TRIO program here at Coconino Community College. TRIO is a federally grant-funded program that serves students who are first generation, low income, or utilizes disability resources. I am honored tonight to present TRIO Student of the Year award to not only one of my amazing hardworking mentees, but to my dear friend. I met this student during a math class here on campus. She is a first-generation Native American student. And also would like to say she was inducted into PTK's Honor Society last night as well. I have seen this student at her lowest, and it breaks my heart when I see her at this state, but I know every time she'll bounce right back, stronger and more motivated than ever, which makes her an amazing scholar. This student has gone above and beyond during her time here at TRIO. She has proved time and time again that she shows up. She consistently schedules tutoring appointments and communicates with her advisors and mentors. She has attended nearly every TRIO event and workshop during the 2025-2026 school year. But the student just doesn't show up for herself, she shows up for others around her. She brings her light, her kindness, and her knowledge to everyone around her. Whenever someone walks into our TRIO lounge, she greets them with a smile and is willing to answer questions, comfort, and help others around her. In TRIO, we value dedication, advocacy, and leadership. This student has exemplified and exceeded all of these qualities. At TRIO, we are very proud of this student and very proud of the impact that she has had on our program. I would love to present TRIO Student of the Year award to Braylee Garadas.
Wonderful. Our next award is the Veteran Student of the Year, presented by Financial Aid and Veteran Services Advisor, Sophia Rogers.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to say how grateful I am that we're having this event. And I wanted to say thank you to Sarah for throwing it and everyone who helped. And thank you guys so much for holding this space patiently and attentively. It's really wonderful to have you all here. And how about this sign? Right? Okay. So it is an honor to welcome Alexiah Tree to the stage tonight. In addition to his academic achievements here, he is a Purple Heart recipient, being recognized for his service to our country. Alexiah carries himself with a quiet strength and a warm, steady presence, qualities that follow him wherever he goes, most recently and notably into our Veterans Center. Through his character and actions, he brings intention, welcome, and authenticity into that space, helping to make it inviting, meaningful, and relevant for fellow veterans. This year, Alexiah exemplified exceptional courage and initiative by reaching beyond his immediate circle, connecting with others through social media to propose and help organize a benefit concert for veterans here in Flagstaff, featuring a nationally recognized artist, Jay Allen, on August 22nd at the Orpheum Theater, if you're not busy that night. Alec continues to play an active role in coordinating this event, motivated not by recognition, but by service to his community. This semester has also marked a period of meaningful personal growth and accomplishment, as Alexia has taken significant steps to create the best possible home and future for his family. Demonstrating the same thoughtfulness and responsibility that define both his service and his academic journey. Through the way he engages with others and the way he has embraced the Veterans Center, Alexia has helped shape it into a place that feels genuine, welcoming, and community-centered. His presence reminds us why it is both an honor and a privilege to serve our United States Armed Forces students here at CCC. It is with great pride that we recognize tonight Alexia Tree.
Our final two awards of the evening will be presented by yours truly, so please give us a moment as we head our way to the stage. Alrighty, two final awards, and I am so grateful to get to share them with these two incredible women. I am so excited to present the Outstanding Student Leadership Award to Maddie Doublier. Maddie has been on the Student Life team for just about her entire career at CCC, and it's been such a joy to have her on the team. Maddie has a beautiful knack for celebrating students and ensuring their voices are heard and respected, and that has been evident in so many ways. This fall, when CCC was on the ballot for our historic bond measure, Maddie sat in on a listening session, which was, I've been told, an interesting but informative information session. And as she was the only attendee, there's a lot of opportunities for her to have direct communication with our leadership. But this presented a really necessary conversation for our leaders to think about the impact that students would have on the election and to really target our student voters to make sure that students are talking about what CCC will be bringing into the future. That listening session turned into an event, Bondin' with the Prez, and somehow also ended up with me throwing a pie into Dr. Heiser's face, so thank you, Maddie, for that opportunity. I appreciate you being honest about how students have power in their numbers. Maddie has been she's been in what I would consider her yes era during her time at CCC. She said yes to a lot of unique leadership opportunities like the Intercollegiate Student Leadership Experience, where she was one of two students not in the Maricopa County School District. But being one of two in a crowd of over 100 didn't stop her from being open and vulnerable, open to vulnerable conversations, welcome to challenging activities, and excited to bring new ideas to CCC. As you've made your most of your time at CCC, this unfortunately means that your time is coming to an end. With that, Maddie will be graduating this May in less than a month. Her one final task for our graduating ambassadors was to create a capstone event. True to her passion for celebrating her peers, Maddie hosted Coco Talk, Student Stories Creating Change, a TED Talk style event where students had the opportunity to share their stories and how college and the people along their paths helped shape them into who they are. While this semester hasn't been the easiest one for you, you have shown resiliency and courage to continue to show up both for yourself and for the people around you. Thank you for the impact you have made and the legacy you will be leaving behind here at CCC. And most importantly, thank you for the leadership you have continued to showcase in your time as an ambassador. Please stop crying. I am so honored to celebrate you and to present the Outstanding Student Leadership Award. And please join me in welcoming JoJo Miller to the stage. Our final award of the evening is for our Student Employee of the Year, presented to JoJo Miller. JoJo is a student ambassador on the Student Life team and has been on our team for a bit over a year now. She's not just a member of Student Life, though. She also spent a lot of this past summer working with the student development team at the welcome desk to help triage students as they navigated advising, tutoring, trio, NASC, and more when it comes to starting your time at CCC. In addition to the work she's done with Student Life and student development, JoJo is the president of the Black Student Union and has been the foundation to support and the fire to ignite this club. We would not have our Black Student Union if it weren't for the work JoJo put into it. She has made it not just a consistent opportunity for our Black students to celebrate and connect, but it's a space for expression, voice, and joy. JoJo thinks outside of the box when it comes to celebrating what CCC has to offer. As an upcoming graduate, she too had a capstone to create. Just last week, at this time, in this space, which is crazy to think it was only a week ago, JoJo had transformed our commons into Comet Fashion Week, the first and very possibly only fashion show here at CCC. Comet Fashion Week celebrated student experience and expression through the medium of fashion and clothing. This event was JoJo to a T. She's funky, fresh, and fashionable, and always thinking of ways to keep CCC looking good. While this award is called the Student Employee of the Year, what makes JoJo such an incredible employee goes way beyond the job. She's intentional, curious, and vibrant in all the things that she does, not just how she approaches work. I want to take a moment to recognize the wise words of RuPaul Charles and remind everyone that if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? JoJo, you have shown your peers here at CCC what self-love looks like. But even more than that, you've shown me what it looks like to love myself and to be out and proud and to be willing to ask for what you need. The best piece of advice I've maybe ever received was from JoJo last semester. She said, "Closed mouths don't get fed." That advice is what I would share with all of you as you approach your own employment. I think that RuPaul really did phrase it perfectly. And if you can't advocate for yourself, how in the hell are you going to advocate for somebody else? Congratulations, JoJo, on being the 2026 Student Employee of the Year. Alrighty, can we please give one final round of applause to our program award winners and all of our award winners tonight. Thank you all for joining us. This evening is always the most remarkable celebration of the student experience, and I'm so excited to pass the mic along for our closing remarks to the Dean of Student Development, Mark Hardley. Please close out the night.
What a phenomenal night. Now, Sarah asked me to be the closing speaker. And we heard a phrase throughout the night, don't just do the work, know the assignment. So I need to know the assignment. You see, the program's supposed to end at 7:30. Oh, no. This is going to be quick, okay? Because knowing the assignment from Sarah meant to me, get up there and look good, tell a couple jokes, and get off stage because these people are sick of sitting in these hard chairs. So that's what we're going to do. It was a phenomenal night. So in 60 seconds, we are going to be done. But let me just end tonight by hopefully inspiring our students and everybody that's here. I saw some young kids that are here, our future Comets to be. We're excited about you. But I want to share a little story with you. This is a story of two young whippersnappers is what I'll call them. Kids that sit in the back of the room. They're always talking, never paying attention. Well, the teacher that day started to tell a story about this old wise man that lived up in the top of the mountains. He knew everything. There wasn't a question that you could ask him that he didn't have an answer for. Well, these boys are whispering back and forth saying, we got something for him. Who does he think he is? We're smarter than that old man. So they come up with this plan. They decide that they're going to get this little bird, They're going to put the bird behind their back and they say, old man, is the bird behind my back alive or is it dead? If he says it's alive, I'm going to snap the neck of that bird. If he says, no, that's a dead bird. No, we're going to show him alive. This old man cannot win against our minds. So they decide to hike up this mountain, get to the top, and they're tired. They knock on the old cabin door, and the old man opens up and says, gentlemen, how can I help you today? Old man, is the bird behind my back alive or is it dead? The old man just turns, walks away, and says, boys, it is what you wish it to be. I say to all of you, that is what your future is. It is what you wish it to be. We saw 30 individuals walk across this stage with their phenomenal faculty members, their program coordinators, students that are doing phenomenal things, but it doesn't stop here. Greatness is within every single one of you. It is what you wish it to be. Have a great night.